Hey guys, it is early Friday morning. I haven't even finished getting ready, but I wanted to come to you and start to talk to you, give you an update on how things are going with my two Goldens and give you a glimpse, because someone requested a glimpse of our new puppy, which has been really interesting because we've been introducing our puppy to the flock. And let me tell you, the flock's very squawky about him. All right. I am Kaylin, the author of the Parrot Bliss Bond. I have over 22 species of books. Sorry, of parrots. I was thinking that I should also say I have like over 4 parrot books, 4 parrot coloring books. Parrots are my bliss. I'm pretty blissed out with my puppy too, but my parrots, you know, it's funny, you can't cuddle with them the same way, but parrots just bond to you in this certain way. Hi, Bliss. Hi, Bliss. And Ursulus and Henry are over there. We are all starting our Friday morning. I don't mix certain birds, and so right now my Goldens aren't out, but I am going to talk to you about my Goldens. So first of all, my Amazon Tikko, he's an orange-winged Amazon, and he loves, I think, conures, but certainly golden conures. We don't really let him hang out with the smaller conures because there's such a size difference. Like Tikko could go to try to preen one and really hurt them, not for any reason other than he's just so much bigger. So he does really well with the golden conures because they are so much closer in size. Now, Tikko has always been phenomenal with Boatrix, our male, and he has sort of allowed Boatrix to kind of go, I don't know you, when they first met, you know, kind of like, and Tikko was so good at being patient with Boatrix, letting Boatrix come around, and letting Boatrix bond with him. Then they did so well for like a year. Now Boatrix is 2.5, and I'll say about the last 6 months, Boatrix, I wouldn't say he's hormonal. I would say he's coming into his teenage boyhood. I don't think maybe we're into hormones, but basically it's not necessarily hormones. It's more like, look at what I can do. Look at my beak. Look at, he's just kind of sowing his bully oats. And so I always say that Goldens and Capes are 2 of my favorite species, and they really are. But Boatrix is sort of not living up to the totally sweet name. Now, I am finding that golden conures do have this phase, this phase where they do get a little active. But I also feel like that's not too different than other parrots. Other parrots, just like my puppy, they go through this phase, just like teenagers, where they're like invincible, and therefore they're like, I'm going to be the alpha, I'm going to be the roost ruler. And while they are going through that phase, and they've got all this energy and all this power kind of thing, they do rule the roost. So Boatrix started to kind of really, like, they took, Boatrix and Tikko took so well to Carmen, but then Boatrix started to decide that he was in charge, so he bullies both of them a little bit. He started to bully Tikko more and more, and we decided to take Tikko out of the trio. It's a shame because Tikko was so happy. Tikko loved both of them. He was doing really great with having 2 Goldens. He was preening both of them. Carmen would even preen him back. But now we're a little afraid that Boatrix might escalate and hurt Tikko. It was clear to us that Boatrix has sort of come to I want this to be my hen, and I don't think I want to share. And we don't want to find out when he doesn't share. So find out what that would be like, or what those consequences would be. So we are actually trying to see if Tikko would like to be friends with Merlin, because Merlin needs a friend. But in the meantime, Boatrix and Carmen seem to be doing well. For a little while, Boatrix was a little heavy-handed. You know, he's just kind of like a puppy that's just jumpy and wild and like full of all this energy. And it's like as soon as he gets a little older, he'll start to mellow out a little and he'll be more calm. Do you agree, Bliss? Or, oh, I know, the puppy walked by. And now the puppy's sitting under a chair. As soon as he walks by again, I will try to catch him. But when we're outside, he likes to be nice and mellow. And I'm like, go wild now. And when we're inside and I'm like, don't go wild, be nice and mellow, then he's not as mellow. So the biggest point that I want to make is that Harry, one of my favorite golden conures, Harry lives down in Miami. We have this little network of golden conures that we've met. Like, I think we also have Leo in California, like that, the people who have contacted me and gotten a golden conure because of my goldens, or because I've referred them to a good golden breeder. And actually, if anyone wants a golden right now, I might raise 2, so you could put your money down with me, and then I would go and get one from the biggest breeder, who is phenomenal with goldens. But anyway, so for Harry's benefit, because Harry, I got a post from Harry's dad. Harry is 3 years old and being a little wild, and you know, again, chalk it up to hormones, chalk it up to that teenage hero, like where you're Superman or Superwoman, because there really is that phase for humans, dogs, and parrots. It'll pass, but ironically, having another parrot does help. However, you know, I always say you want to match as best you can species, temperament, size, and certainly age. As a matter of fact, I would go species and then age. I had a couple people ask about getting a blue-headed macaw to accompany their Hans macaw. If the Hans macaw is young, I think that could work. If the Hans macaw isn't young, I don't think that'll work. Why? Because you could even give an older Hans macaw a Hans macaw, but if the older one is just not used to other parrots, then I say that they lose their ability to bridge the parrot world and the human world. So it's really important that your bird is socialized. And it's really interesting because they say that about dogs now too. In other words, what happens is that it's just like us. Like, believe it or not, children need to be socialized too. It's really important. I mean, that's one reason they go to school when they're young. If they don't learn, like if you take a baby and you don't talk to it, it won't develop speech. So it's really important to teach them how to be a human, which is done very easily. You just hang out with them. The same is true with the bird. You just have the bird hang out with other birds. And actually, I just did a fabulous video. In some ways, I think it's one of my best videos on parrot biting, because it's the same. And actually, Harry's dad had also mentioned that Harry, you know, it's like with the biting, he's going to try to change his approach a little and be a little more bird-like, because that's what you do. You know, in other words, if it's a human baby, you have to be human-like. If it's a parrot baby, you have to be parrot-like. If it's a puppy, you have to be puppy-like in your approach with them, so that you're speaking their language, so that they have that socialization, although of course the same species is best, and they can then develop properly. Super duper important. So I think that Harry could actually still really use another, certainly golden conure or another parrot that is about his same size and age and temperament. In other words, if Harry, as an example, got a new baby parrot, like if Harry got a new baby golden conure, they would have to be in separate cages, and they could come out and socialize together. And one thing that would be really nice is Harry knows how to free fly on a harness, so it's not really free fly, but like Harry can fly on his harness very comfortably. And he has been taught to do it. There have been many stages Harry's parents have gone through to teach Harry how to be out and not freak out, and like there's just a lot to it. So then though, what would happen is Harry would socialize the baby really well under supervision, not in the same cage. And when the baby is an adult, like around at a year or so, then they could possibly be caged together. But in the meantime, Harry would teach the baby how to be a parrot. He would teach him about biting, And he would also teach him about free flying on the harness. So Harry would end up teaching a lot to the new baby, and then Harry's dads wouldn't have to. It would be really cool. This is actually a method really good school teachers use, like in elementary schools. They have the kids teach each other because the kids are better at it. They speak the same language. They're the same species, if you will, than the teacher is relative to the kid. So I think that's some really great and important things for you to think about and ponder when you're looking at your flock, when you're looking at your flock dynamics, when you're like, are they getting along, are they not getting along? Or when you're pondering, I'm going to add a parrot, how do I add, who do I add, what do I add? And I'll put a link in because I've done videos on choosing who you're going to add to your flock for your bird, right? Like if you have, for example, Bliss, and if we were getting her another bird, which we got her a Timna. So, you know, but a video to give you some ideas in case you don't want to get the same species. They really like the same species. I noticed a rescue mentioned that, you know, when she gets birds, sometimes some of them become buddies, but when they're the same species, they really buddy up and they create a stronger bond. Of course, because they speak the same language, so to speak. So, your golden conure, though, update is my goldens are together now and they're happy, and we're a little like, oh, we want Tikko, our Amazon, to be happy as well, because now our goldens are together because they bonded more strongly. And now we need to see where Tikko can bond well. And a really obvious answer would be to get Tikko another golden conure, but you know, I dug a couple holes out back and I didn't find any golden pots, so no more golden right now. Plus my flock is so full. All right, guys, I hope that kind of gets you thinking, like, if you have a golden conure, okay, I'm gonna kind of go through this I'm Superman or Superwoman phase, and that's typical. And the goldens really seem to definitely have that. It's kind of interesting. They, you know, and for example, frankly, I haven't had an African gray. I've had baby African gray that I was raising for someone, and so then I didn't have the baby. So I haven't had this age, like from after babyhood to young adult. So I can't say whether or not the Africans have that, but African grays are more mellow, so they probably don't have that Superman time. But if you have a golden, just recognize that you'll have that Superman, Superwoman time. And they will be a little, in Spanish, they would say bravo, like it's a little, just, I guess, full of piss and vinegar is a really good way of saying it. And so if you weather that storm, just like the puppy biting, it will go away. And deal with it as if you were another golden conure, or get another golden conure. All right, guys, I hope that gives you some really good info on dynamics, on understanding the golden conures have a Superman phase, and hug your flock for me, just don't get bitten. If you are interested in a golden conure, make sure that you do contact me, because like I said, 'tis the season and I might raise a couple. If you are looking for my books, please check out my books on Amazon. And we have a couple green cheek conures if you're interested in a conure, and if not, we will catch you in the next blissful video.